Hello everyone, my name is Leanne Allegretto and today is November 24th and I will be walking you through our planning briefing for the next several days into going into next weekend at the very latest. So here's some highlights of what we're going to be discussing. Monday and Tuesday we're expecting some light snow and isolated impacts, and then we'll start to begin the change to a persistent colder pattern, which will come with strong winds lasting through about midweek and then snow possible Thursday through the weekend. And I'll get into each of these as we go along and give you more detail. So the snow that we're expecting Monday and Tuesday, it's not going to be a whole lot, and it's going to be confined to basically west central Montana and more so in the north central Idaho mountainous terrain. And here is a storm total snow grid showing the extent of the snow that we're expecting during this time. You'll notice that there is some higher amounts above 6 inches in the highest terrain of the Clearwater Mountains in Idaho County, and some of the higher valleys like Lowell, Elk City, Dixie, they'll see between 2 to 4 inches, give or take. And of course Highway 12 going up to Lolo Pass, and even as you get into the Mission Mountains in west central Montana and northwest Montana, you'll start to pick up some snow. But overall, we're not expecting a whole lot of travel impacts from this. It'll be spread out over a time period of 24 hours. But let's look at it a little closer. Here's Lolo Pass. This is what we're expecting. This is a graphic showing the time frames, the lowering of temperatures, and the amount of snow projected to occur by those times that we're looking at here. So snowfall's on the top, temperatures in the bottom, and this is for Lolo Pass. The next one is for Elk City. You can see substantially more snow than Lolo Pass, but still not a whole lot, I should say. But you'll notice the drop in temperatures, and we'll get into that a little bit later too. Here's Grangeville. Also in that Monday to Tuesday time frame, we're seeing some snow and then a gradual drop off of temperatures. And Whitebird Hill, also the same thing. They'll get a little snow this afternoon at the time that I'm recording this, but then we'll see more start to pick up Monday through Tuesday, and then the drop off in temperatures. So as far as what we talk about going into middle to late week into the weekend will completely depend on where this deep low pressure system sets up. Now on the left hand side is what the models are showing right now is the track of the low as it goes further east, which is the second graphic on the right. So the arrows show the direction of the flow. So if you look at north central Idaho and western Montana, we're not really in that moisture field, which is painted in green, or if it's a lot, it's painted in blue and purple down in Arizona in the first graphic, and then over in the Midwest in the second graphic. So we're probably going to miss out on the great big impactful snows that could happen from this low if it holds to this track. We'll see plenty of easterly winds come up over the divide and impact western Montana, and to a lesser extent north central Idaho. But we're just not seeing a whole lot of moisture associated with this. We will see some snow, and when it does fall, it'll fall as snow because it'll be plenty cold enough. But right now, most of the heavier snows will remain east of the divide. Unless this track changes. We're watching it. There's been some inconsistencies between the models and how it evolves this low as it moves, out of California, Nevada, Utah area and into the Midwest. So any change might, change how much snow we're expecting. But for right now, we're not expecting a whole lot of snow, but we are expecting wind and cold. So let's get into that. So winds will start to kick up Wednesday night through early morning Thursday. And the graphic here is just a representation of the types of sustained winds that we are expecting and the direction that they're coming out of, which is out of the east-northeast. So the strongest winds will be across northwest Montana and along the Continental Divide, which is visible here in the graphic. They will begin early Wednesday morning and then peak by late Wednesday evening through Thursday morning. So it's going to be kind of a late Wednesday type of deal when we really start to feel the strongest gusts. And gusts could get into the 40s, mid-40s, upper 40s, especially across northwest Montana. And then thereafter, the pressure gradient lingers. So we are expecting elevated winds to last through the day Thursday into Thursday night, but we're still not expecting any substantial gusts to occur during that time. We still feel pretty good about the late Wednesday through early Thursday timeframe being when the strongest winds will occur. Of course, the further west you go, the less winds there are. So places like Orofino, Highway 12 through the Clearwaters, all the way down to Grangeville and Riggins, you guys will probably be out of the strongest winds. And of course, with temperatures falling off like they're expected to do, wind chills will start to be an increasing issue, particularly along the Continental Divide where the coldest temperatures are expected. So what kind of temperatures are we expecting? Well, these two graphics show a representation of what we're looking at from Friday onward through next weekend, or this coming weekend, rather. So on the left is a representation of forecasted minimum temperatures, and on the right is a graphical representation of maximum temperatures. So you can see that the daytime highs are going to struggle to get very far above 20. Like maybe a few places in central Idaho, Orofino, we have sitting here at 30 degrees. That might be the warm spot, Riggins, 34. Everywhere else is going to struggle to get at or around 20 degrees for a high temperature during the weekend. On the flip side, minimum temperatures are going to be right around zero. A lot of places will remain in the single digits, and a lot more places may fall below zero, especially along the Continental Divide. In the areas we normally see them, Drummond, Phillipsburg, Butte, all the way up to Polebridge, Marias Pass, anywhere hugging the Continental Divide. So you mix some winds in with that, and the wind chills start to become a real issue. So this is trying to give you an idea of the kind of temperatures we're looking at, and this will last probably into early next week. So long after Thanksgiving and the Thanksgiving holiday weekend, we could still see temperatures this cold. Beyond that, what are we expecting? Well, we're still supposed to be trending towards below normal for precipitation for our area, and still trending below normal for temperatures. So going into the first few days of December, it's going to be very much the same as what we've been seeing, or we will see this coming week. So cold and mostly dry. So where does everything stand for our matrix? Well, we're going with low impacts Monday from the light snowfall in Idaho, and some lingering snowfall expected on Tuesday. So you'll see those highlighted there in yellow for the low impacts. Then by Wednesday, when the winds start to happen and they mix with snow and the temperatures, then we start to get a little bit more moderate, especially in southwest Montana and Lemhi County, Idaho, where the winds and the snow and blowing snow will be the biggest issue. The winds will continue to be a problem in northwest Montana and west central Montana, but a little bit lower because they won't be combined with that blowing snow and light snowfall. North central Idaho, the winds aren't expected to be as strong, so we have them labeled as little to no threat. Thursday could very well be a green day across the board, but because we're concerned about a little bit of snow and a little bit of lingering wind, we did label them yellow just to highlight the fact that there may be some very low impacts from those features Thursday, and then again on Friday, particularly across southwest Montana and Lemhi County, Idaho. So overall, not a hugely impactful period of weather, but little issues here and there that are worth paying attention to, and we'll give you more details as we get into the week and we get more minute details on the upcoming system and that low pressure system and the temperatures and that sort of thing. So here's where we stand right now. But of course, if you have any questions, you know where to find us, and we'll be back here for our next briefing in a couple days. Thanks.